Hello everyone and welcome to another webinar by Royal Cyber. My name is Amar Nadeem and I am a Senior Business Development Executive at Royal Cyber and I'll be your host for today. Before we start, if anyone is not able to view my screen or hear me properly, kindly notify me in the chat window located on the right side of the pane. Once again, if any one of you is not able to view my screen properly or hear me, do let us know on the chat window located on the right side of the pane. Now for a start, I want to talk about how IBM Tealeaf brings in a powerful and complete customer experience analytics for mobile. More and more users access your product and service through mobile devices. Drill into customer behavior to analyze why they choose to abandon your site. In this webinar, you'll learn how to use Tealeaf to see things from a customer's perspective to optimize your digital experience. Mobile web, hybrid app, and native app support for iOS and Android. When integrated with the desktop, website, or web app, lets us use these features help companies significantly improve their online channel for key users no matter how they contact them. Before we start, just want to take a look at the agenda for today. We're going to talk a little about the Royal Cyber, the company profile, the role of a smartphone in today's life, which is very important, the traditional analytics, the need of CX Mobile and its advantages. We're going to take a look at some use cases and some real-time scenarios, and last but not the least, we'll have a question and answer session. Now, talking a little about Royal Cyber, we're an IBM Premier Business Partner and we work exclusively with IBM technology stacks since 2002. Royal Cyber takes Web3 commerce very seriously and strictly adheres to IBM best practices and policies, thereby successfully providing the best enterprises. This is our technology stack. We work with deep experience with IBM technology since 2002. Thought the leadership unique product extension. We have a trusted, long-lasting relationship with IBM and highly enterprise experienced IBM practitioners with IBM specified non-agnostist. Let's take a look at our global presence. We have offices in the whole world, starting from UK, Canada, Mexico, USA, South Africa, Australia, Saudi Arabia, and India. As always, we have a great speaker with us. Before we start, let me introduce to you our speaker for today, Mr. Nanda Kishore. Mr. Kishore is a functional analyst at Royal Cyber and an IBM certified Tealeaf consultant with years of experience in all phases of the project, such as development, enhancement, and production support. He is an expert in both flavors of IBM Tealeaf, Tealeaf on-premise, and Tealeaf on cloud. And without any further ado, let me hand it over to Mr. Nanda.
Thanks, Amar, and good afternoon, everyone. Before we get started, I have a quick word about this webcast. We are live and interactive today. We welcome you to this webcast and your questions and feedback, and urge everyone take part as much as possible. We'll do our best to answer your questions during the question answer sessions of the webinar. Let's start with the webinar. Mobile and mobile part. What is the usage of smartphone? We can see that recent study analysis revealed that 80% of the internet users own a smartphone, and 89%, almost similar, 90%, they were using their time on mobile. And if you look into it, we can have a lot more and more, analysis on the study of mobile usage and what exactly they were doing on the website. At the same time, with the increase in the internet speed in the world, they are getting into less patience as well. So if your app is not working at some point of time during their visit to your app, then they will put your app in non-usable, and might be they can delete it after some time and they will move on to their next your competitor. So at the same time, how you can differentiate your app, great versus excellent app. At the same time, what needs to be, when the user is navigating on your app, what needs to be looked into it. Is there what exactly they are doing on your app, or did they say something about your app? So whenever you are talking about your customer representative, how many times did they approach back to the user about what exactly they complained about? You can see a lot more times. So in order to understand what exactly they've written, so the CX mobile will be a great help, right, in that particular user session. Instead of what he complained about, what exactly the user did on your app, that we will talk about in this webinar. At the same time, qualitative versus quantitative. What is qualitative and what is quantitative? Quantitative is something you will be getting in numbers, right? Qualitative is something which we are getting, why is that happened, right? We will discuss that in the next slides as well in more details. Coming to the traditional analytics, what exactly you are getting from traditional analytics, right? Say for example, for any mobile app, if you are looking into some of these use cases in the reports, like the crash reports, right? How many number of crashes happened on a given day or a given period of time against new versus existing users. At the same time, what is the conversion report? Within that checkout funnel, if you're having on the app, you will be definitely looking into what is the step conversion from my step n to step n+1. At the same time, you will be looking into the overall conversion funnel report as well. At the same, on which step the users were dropping, right, from any given step, what is the maximum dropouts. You will be having these numbers with the traditional analytics. At the same time, the behavior reports, what exactly the users are doing on my app, where exactly they are navigating on my app, and what kind of information followed by when exactly they are accessing, right, in a in a given day or a given week or a given month, what is the when exactly the people are accessing my app. At the same time, the usage reports, like the number of users who are accessing my app, average time they were spending on my app, and the number of times the app is launched. There might be chance that the people can kill the app on their device and they can open a new app freshly. This will give us the number of how does your app is performing. At the same time, users by region or by any campaign that you are launching, or any sort of mediums that for the marketing stuff. And most actionable insight, whatever these traditional analytics that you are getting, you will be getting these in the form of numbers. But what you can derive with those numbers, can you say that, okay, this is the step where exactly the people are dropping out, but can you say why is that happening, right, at any point of time? What exactly the path that the users are following, hence they are getting this error, right? This is the kind of information nowadays is more useful to to improve your app. You can differentiate with this kind of information. You can differentiate what is exactly the great app versus the excellent app. So the great app, you can say like 1,000 users on your app. Do you say that it's a great, or 100 users are satisfied with your app? So you can say this is an excellent app. There's a lot of difference between these two, but with the CX mobile, we can convert your app from great to excellent app. So this is what, the same time, the most actionable insight, you can't derive it from the traditional analytics. You need something more. That something more you can get it from CX mobile. And moving on to this qualitative analysis, usability, crashes, internal app search, if your app is having this internal app search functionality, and the logins and the gestures. So during the checkout process, how the people are checking out on your app. Did they following the app for the checkout, the steps for the checkout, what the business is designed for, or they are coming any other way for the checkout process. This is what is called the report. We call it as ideal path versus non-ideal path. So how many people are actually converting? and why they were, if they were with the ideal path, if they were not converting with the ideal path, where exactly they were navigating, and then they were converting with the checkout process. So with this kind of information, the word comes where and why. So with the why, you can implement that new feature where the user is, bypassing the ideal path. Might be they want this particular step at this stage, but you're not providing in your app. So that with the CX mobile, you can see that why the need of that particular step in this checkout process, right? Might be they are unable to identify their postal code, so that they are going back and see somewhere and some kind of information, and then they are coming back and filling in the checkout process. The same time, the number of crashes is happening. Is it happening specific to any new device that's available in the market? And what exactly the navigation path that's leading to this particular crash? At the same time, there might be chances that at some stage, even though you are following during the testing stage, you might not be able to see the similar kind of experience. But yes, the majority of the users are getting these kind of crashes. But what extra information that CX mobile will provide you is you can see the request and response parameters as well. What are all the requests that the user, while navigating this particular path, you can see the request parameters that might be leading to this crash, which is not happening in your case during your testing phase, because of there is a change in the the query parameters or the request parameters that's not allowing you during the testing phase to crash. Okay, at the same time, the usability. So with the app, you will be having very, very limited functionalities. You might not be giving us all the functionalities, but there are business to business, this might vary. But with this limited functionality, you need to see whether you are design your own app. Does it means that it does not means that the users will follow the same path on their navigation. They might be expecting something more. So what is that something more? You need to say it out. So what exactly the information they want to know? So with the CX mobile, yes, this is feasible, and we are able to see this kind of information as well. At the same time, the internal app search, if you are providing any kind of internal search functionality, and we can see that what exactly the string that the users were entering on the app that's resulting in blank screen, or the app might end up in crashing, right? At the same time, you will see the text message saying, unfortunately, there is no results corresponding to your text. So these are all the things, but at the same time, if you use the same string during your testing phase, it might be getting the results, but not for the end user. Why is that is happening? So every scenario that you see, like almost like 95 scenarios, 95 cases where we can see the issue with the real user, but you might not be able to see the similar kind of behavior in your testing phase. So this is what we observed throughout our Tealeaf support and Tealeaf functional support. So this Tealeaf will helps you to identify those scenarios as well, which will helps the IT support team to fix those issues, that extra level of information during the request parameters. At the same time, the gestures as well. How many number of times on a given screen that the users were doing some kind of gestures? They might be increasing the font size, or they are turning the device. Okay, so these are the possible scenarios that with the CX mobile you will be getting the qualitative analysis, not only on the traditional analytics in the form of numbers. And we are going ahead with a simple use case like the checkout process, where exactly the users were dropping out, and here the qualitative information is like why is this is happening, where we can see they can use the mobile app and they can add items to the cart, but they were unable to check out. So this is a scenario where we have taken during the checkout process, where the user needs to enter their personal details to check out this one. So he entered that checkouts button. We can see that he entered his or her nickname followed by the last name, and when he is trying to enter the street address, right, the keypad is popping up here, that's stopping the user, or whatever the string that the user is entering here is unable to see what exactly the string that he is entering. The same time you can see that even though after rotating the device as well, you can see the similar kind of behavior, which means that the background screen here, he is unable to scroll up to enter the right text in that address field. So this is what the user is experiencing here, and the user is unable to continue the checkout process. Even though if the size of the screen, the device or the resolution of the device is little bit on the higher side, in those scenarios he can see it, but the smartphones, they were unable to complete their checkout process. So with this CX mobile only, it will gives you that why is this happening. So how does this Tealeaf will gives you? So Tealeaf will captures the all the user journey. You can say it like in a video, but on the other side, it's not exactly the video that it is capturing, because it's capturing the request and response that is originating from the client, the request that's originating from the client, at the same time the response that the server is giving to this particular request. So with those kind of information, we can exactly see where exactly and why this is happening. You can see that request parameter is something is wrong with this particular device, might be some XYZ request parameter, might be it is passing like XYZ, some special characters. So that's leading to the crash as well. So in this scenario, yes, you can see that exactly what is happening here. And this he rotated that device, but still he is unable to face it. So this is what I'm talking about, the request and response parameters on a given device. So you can see the buttons at the top where you can see request followed by response and replay. The replay, it will gives you the what exactly the user experience can see on his or her device. Because at the same time, left to that replay button where you can see the response. This response exactly the what exactly the server is sending to the device on a particular request, right? And left to that response, you can see a request as well. So this is the request parameters where we can see exactly in the request, we can see all kinds of, what you can call the session IDs and everything about that particular request, and this is everything about the response. Sometimes what will happen is, even though your server is responding properly, I mean your server is getting the right response, but on the client's device for some reason it's not properly displaying the contents, right? It's somewhere like it's not as per the design. Might be the button which is supposed to appear in in green color, it's not appearing in green, it's like the gray color. So yes, these are the some of the features that CX mobile can only provide you to see what exactly is happening on the device. I can say like my app is it's very excellent and it performs well, but how can you say that the similar kind of experience the user is also getting? There is no way that you can say that similar kind of experience is your app is great, right? Whatever the stats you might be having, like I do analyze like last 5 years of data. Do you think that last 5 years of data is really helpful to improve your user experience? With the changes is happening in the world, you can't be say that okay, this will be the next future, right? Because the mindset of the people is it's changing a lot. At the same time, the world is also changing a lot. You cannot trust these numbers. Yes, you can trust like up to 5% or the 10%. You can't trust beyond that. Whatever the analysis you carried on, like till last 10 years, decade, or 2 decades, but though you think that, I don't think that will be helpful to 100% to get into the next level feature, or you need to come to a conclusion like what will be the next one. And on the qualitative analysis, as well. So this is where it comes the qualitative. The same time the conversion report, why did the user drop the funnel on a given step? What is the impact of a particular issue in the checkout funnel? Say for example, I'm having some issue, I identified it, but if you want to know exactly whether you want to prioritize this issue in the checkout process or something else which you're already aware of it. So with this CX mobile, you can see exactly what are all the users, at the same time how many users were impacted because of this particular issue. You can say like 10 users, might be because at the other user, in the other scenario where 100 users were, you can retain your customer. Might be your payment service at some point of time your payment service went down. You're unable to fix it within a 10 or 15 minutes time. So if you watch this 15 minutes time, how many users were impacted and who are all those users? So CX Mobile gives you that specific information of at what size, what kind of customers, and who are all those customers, and give your representative so that they can arrange a get to yes, the issue got fixed, you want to do that transaction again. The same behavior report. Why users aren't following the design path? What's the actual user for the user's perspective, what they are looking for? The usage report. What are all the accessible areas in the app and why they are so popular than in my list? Why there most people are going to particular area of app, it's a particular that you can derive from the qualitative analysis with the help of CX Mobile. The most interesting thing is the thing which you can't represent in numbers is the customer experience or the user experience on the app. You need to look and view what exactly they are doing to get into the right information and the right insight about the user behavior. And next I'm giving it to Amar.
Thank you, Mr. Nanda, for the beautiful presentation on Tealeaf. Let's take a look at some of our major clients we have worked with in the past. For example, to name a few, Wacker Nuisance, Kmart, T-Mobile, HD Supply. Since we have this webinar as interactive as possible, we would like you guys for the question and answer session. If you guys have any questions, you guys can chat it out to us. What we're going to do this time, we're going to unmute everyone, and if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask right away. If you don't have a microphone available, you can chat your questions on the chat window located on the right side of the pane. So this is the question and answer session time, guys. If you guys have anything that comes to mind, do let us know. Also, take a look at our phone numbers for every office center located in the control room. Is there a question? Okay, if you guys don't have any questions right now, you guys can always email us at sales@royalcyber.com. If you go to the next slide, our website is www.royalcyber.com. We're headquartered in Chicago, 55 Schuman Boulevard, Suite 275, Naperville, Illinois, USA. You can email us your question and answers at sales@royalcyber.com. Once again, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.